Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the finale review of Bulgasal. And you guys, this episode, oh man, I was not prepared for this. Not at all. Now, did I expect more information on what happened 1,000 years ago? Yes. But did I expect half of this episode to be a full story of what happened 1,000 years ago and connecting our character's story from beginning to end? No, I didn't expect that, but I loved it. And I didn't prepare myself for the amount of sadness towards the end after the fight between EulTae and Hwal. Man, that was such a heartbreaking moment, but I'll talk about that. And oh, one more thing. My predictions, they were right. Not all of them. I was right about Hwal. I was right about Hwal and SangUn being dead towards the end after the fight to take down EulTae. I did say it was going to be a time skip. The only thing I got wrong was EulTae being alive, but he's dead. So yeah, let's get to it. Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, before I begin the review, I just want to say this. Thank you so much for enjoying my videos. Don't forget to like my videos, comment down below, and overall, do not forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you guys won't miss any new videos I upload pretty much every day. So the first thing I want to talk about is the entire story on what happened 1,000 years ago. No longer seeing certain scenes part by part in different episodes. We got the full story beginning to end. So first, at the beginning of the episode, we see two parents telling their daughter to run away with her sibling. Then we see some random guy. I assume he killed the parents and went after the kids. But SangUn appeared and scared him away. Those two kids are definitely the kids that SangUn was infatuated with, and then later on they were taken to Haesok's place. I'm pretty sure at that time she wasn't known as Haesok. And then we are reminded what Hwal said. SangUn is infatuated with the kids. He's afraid that she might leave him. She said she won't, but Hwal believes she did. She left to take care of them until they've grown up. But as for Hwal, not only believing that she abandoned him, but he kept on waiting and waiting for her to come back to the cave. And then we get a time skip 10 years later, so this is 990 years ago. So the kids, they've grown up, and surprisingly, it's DoYoon and SiHo. I know I made a statement saying that it wasn't them in my last review, but yeah, I was proven wrong. The kids are them. Not only that, they witnessed EulTae killing his own brother. And EulTae was gonna kill them because they witnessed what he did, but then SangUn stopped them. That one scene where EulTae pulled, I guess, SangUn's hood, revealing it was SangUn, we saw that scene in a previous episode, and I remember saying, why did SangUn appear in front of him, but now we know why. Because he was gonna kill the kids. And then it changes to EulTae's part of the story where he overhears his dad favoring the other son. We know this part. And this is where they find out that the other son was killed. EulTae tells his dad it was a Bulgasal, and this led to the dad and his men going after SangUn. But then hell breaks loose once Hwal arrived to try to save SangUn. We see dead bodies left and right, including Haesok. What's crazy about that part is Haesok died because of EulTae. 1,000 years ago, it was because of EulTae blaming a Bulgasal for killing his brother. And then current time, Haesok died because of EulTae, because he bit her in the neck. And then we get to the part where DoYoon, SiHo, and Hwal stabs Hwal with their sword. We saw this scene in episode 15, but what comes after that was really surprising. Hwal cursed all three of them. He says, Hwal, the blood that is on his arm will be chopped off. SiHo, she was never able to give birth. And DoYoon, he'll be born blind. For SiHo not being able to give birth, that makes sense because 600 years ago, she was pregnant with a baby before she got killed. And she was never able to give birth to that baby. For DoYoon, yeah, he was born blind as Achan and current time. For Hwal, his arm being chopped off, I was assuming that he cut off his own arm to give blood to Hwal when he was in the well, but they didn't show it. And for 600 years ago, didn't he get his arm chopped off? Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Not gonna lie, I was really shocked when Hwal cursed them. It made me think, oh wait, that means SiHo in current time is not gonna be able to give birth to her baby. And then SangUn stabs herself in the chest, not only trying to kill herself, but also Hwal because his heart is wounded too. And then here comes EulTae, and you don't need me to talk about that part. We know what happens after that. Seeing the entire story on what happened 1,000 years ago was just so amazing and so beautifully done, just for us, the viewers, to see some of those scenes in previous episodes. And those scenes that we saw in the other episodes, they were not shown in order. Some scenes that we saw happen in the middle of the story, some of them at the beginning of the story. But just to see all of those scenes again and see what connected them in the finale was just mind-blowingly awesome. Again, I did not expect them to show us a full story that was pretty much half of the finale episode. It was amazing, 10 out of 10 on that, and I was just so entertained, and I couldn't help but just put my hands on my head and go, no way, so that's what happened, so they did that, they saw that. It was wow. Now we are in current time. It's the final fight against EulTae. EulTae is trying to make Hwal go back to how he was 1,000 years ago, but Hwal refuses. He wants to be human. Then he tries to end Hwal. Then he attacks SangUn. That scream was very terrifying in my opinion. But then Hwal bites EulTae in the neck and stabs him in the chest. And then Hwal walks outside, still holding the dagger, looking at the sun. It's pretty obvious what's gonna happen next. He stabs himself in the chest to end this whole thing, to kill EulTae for good and also himself, because as long as he's alive, the curse that he casted 1,000 years ago will continue. SiHo will never be able to give birth. DoYoon will still continue to be born blind. The scene between SangUn and Hwal, it was just so heartbreaking. It was like saying goodbye for good, because Bulgasal, they don't reincarnate. And if you combine the amount of sadness with the music, it was like, jeez. And then after that, Hwal faded away, and so did EulTae. After all of that, it's over. SangUn reunited with DoYoon and SiHo. SangUn, she was hurt from the wounds that she got from EulTae, and she eventually dies after that. But before she died though, she made SiHo look at what happened during the fight from beginning to end. DoYoon and SiHo went back to Hwal's house and decided to live there and wait for the day that Hwal and SangUn comes back. I still can't believe my prediction on Hwal and SangUn came true. I should play the lottery. Yeah, I did say that SangUn and Hwal were gonna die towards the end to take down EulTae. I did say Hwal was gonna sacrifice himself, and he did. For SangUn, I think I said the same thing, but SangUn didn't sacrifice herself. She got hurt and then she died. So I guess for my prediction on SangUn, half no, but half yes. The only prediction I got wrong completely was EulTae. I did say that he was going to live and spend an eternity in that well, but in the end, yeah, he died too. And then we get a time skip. I did make a prediction on that. I did say it was going to be a time skip, but I also said there was going to be a time skip where everyone is together. Everyone wasn't together, but I was right on the time skip. So the first time skip we got was 8 months later. DoYoon and SiHo are living at Hwal's house. She gave birth to her baby, and then we got 6 years later, and then 10 years later. 10 years later, DoYoon got married. Then 30 years later, we see DoYoon and SiHo really grown up, having their own family. And then 50 years later, SangUn reincarnated. SiHo got the news. SangUn received an envelope with a picture of Hwal's house with the address, and she did tear up a bit, but she didn't know why. I'm assuming she didn't get her memories back, but her emotions was almost like muscle memory. So SangUn arrived at the house. She was looking around, and then we see Hwal. Hwal is trying to buy that house, and these two meet again. They reunite, but they don't remember each other. Hwal did save SangUn from tripping, and he did hurt his hand, and he got a cut right there. I thought this whole thing was over, but I guess he is destined to have a cut right here. So SangUn went to her car to get a first aid kit, and something triggered. It was almost like maybe part of her memories came back. She went into the house. Hwal and SangUn come face to face. Hwal says, "Have we met before?" And the episode ends with SangUn tearing up. Now the ending. Here's my explanation on the ending. So on one part, she could have gotten her memories back. That's why she's tearing up. That's why we saw her in the car pause for a bit. You know what I mean? Or deja vu, muscle memory. It's almost like, why am I tearing up? It's almost like you and me have this sort of connection, but we don't know what it is. It could be that. But I'm leaning more towards on some of her memories came back. That's why she's tearing up. If you guys have your own opinion on the ending, leave it in the comments below. I want to know. So my final thoughts on the finale, I'm giving this a 10 out of 10. Everything they did for the last episode was done beautifully and amazing, giving us the full story on what happened 1,000 years ago, connecting everything, everyone's story, every scene that we saw in previous episodes together, leading to the final fight, leading to a heartbreaking goodbye between Hwal and SangUn. They're not going to see each other again until 50 years later. Then that leads to SangUn passing away, leaving her sister, which leads to SiHo and DoYoon continuing to live in Hwal's house, growing up, getting married, having their own family, which also then leads to the ending where Hwal and SangUn do reunite. Now, I do have one downside, and this is just my opinion. It would have been nice if every character that we saw, well, just the main characters, would be in one spot. You know, it wouldn't make sense if all of them remember each other, but it would have been nice to see maybe DoYoon and SiHo, you know, at a very old age and, you know, witnessing a guy who looks like Hwal and SangUn together at a park, or seeing Haesuk with her grandkids or something, you know, something along those lines. Out of all of the characters in this drama, I feel bad for. Well, first, I felt bad for EulTae at one point, but now I don't. I feel bad for SiHo because she lost a lot of people she considers family. I mean, first, she lost her sister, her mom, now her other sister. She lost Hwal, Haesuk, who was a mother figure to her, Hwal, who was like a father figure to her. Dang, she lost a lot of people. So my final thoughts on the drama, this was a good one. I enjoyed it from beginning to end. I loved their romance/revenge concept that they got going on. I was so invested not only in the storyline but also in the characters, and I do like that the characters all had a connection in some way from the past. Either they were monsters and they fought each other, they were lovers at one point, maybe enemies, friends, families. They all had a connection, and they showed it too by giving us flashbacks. Now with the flashbacks, it wasn't like Jiri-san where it can be confusing at times, but when Bulgasal showed their flashbacks, they actually led up to it. And yeah, that's pretty much the gist of the finale and my review. If there's anything I might have missed, please leave in the comments below. I'm pretty sure I missed some stuff, but you guys will let me know. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you for tuning in to my reviews for Bulgasal every Saturday and Sunday. I know some of you have told me after you watch an episode, you would come straight to my video, which is so awesome to hear. And yeah, it really does give me motivation. Believe me, it really does. And yeah, I just want to say thank you so much for being on this ride with me. The next drama I'm going to be reviewing starting next Saturday is called 2521. Look forward to that, which will be premiering on Netflix. Other than that, if you like this video, leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe. See ya.